So, I'll borrow Matt. Matt is gonna put me in Kesa Gatame, headlock control, okay? So this position sucks. Matt's going to get me here, and he's got my head, and he's grabbing his own leg. My hand is in, okay? My arm is in here, and my head is off the floor. So for Matt to make this position effective, he wants his leg in line with my spine. So he wants his foot pointing that way, okay? He wants to have my elbow up off the ground, okay? And he wants my head tilted up like this. He's got his foot on the mat there, and now if he wants to be a bit of a jerk, he's gonna get his butt off the mat, right? And you see, it's not like I'm making it on purpose. It's just it's Newtonian physics, right? Like my lungs are getting compressed, right? So my voice changed. So as I'm here, when he starts putting that pressure through me, right, I have to start acting. Because right now, he has just stopped my lungs from inflating. So right now, he's cut off my supply. So sooner rather than later, my body, through muscular exertion here, is going to use its supply, and he's cut off the supply route, so he's going to win via attrition. Okay? So what I need to do quickly, first of all, is hide this arm. And I'm going to hide this arm two ways. One is first, I'm going to try to turn towards him and rip that elbow out. If I can rip that elbow out like this, I can now try to get this foot in, okay? And now he can hold me tight, it's okay. And I can try to now get up to the top and get my head out. And now I can bring him back, and now I can start attacking his back. So don't worry if when you do it, it looks a lot messier than that. Just remember what we're trying to do. Get our elbow out and get our left foot around into the hip, our hook in, okay? Because that's not the technique we're working on tonight. That is like the entree. Because if that works, great. If it doesn't, it'll give us the energy required to pull off the secondary technique. So Matt's got me again. Headlock control, Kesa Gatame, great position, one of my favorites. To be him, not me, of course. So the first thing I'm going to try to do is I'm going to bridge up towards him, and now I'm going to try to pull my elbow out down to the ground. If he's experienced, he doesn't want that to happen. Now, I must bridge towards him to do it, because if I pull here, I'm using my rear deltoid. This is a muscle that's this big. But as I bridge towards him, now I get to use my lat, which is one of the biggest muscles in my body, you know, it's like this big. So now once I'm here, I'm going to run my feet around and get my hook in. Okay, that's going to be easy or hard depending on where his foot is and how flexible you are. And now I'm going to use that to really try to get up on top, and I can try to pry my head out, and now I can grab this collar. And now I can bring him round to this other side, okay? And then look at finishing like we did on Tuesday, or of course, just with our rear naked choke. So I want you guys to freestyle that one at a minimum. We get the arm out, and then we put our foot in. That's the minimum I expect from you guys tonight. Realistically, what I would like to see though is number 2. Now with number 2, be careful. Because you need to make sure that the musculature around your torso is going to suitably handle this amount of pressure. Okay, so just be careful. If you have bad rib problems or anything like that, you may want to skip this one. Or make sure you go with one of the lighter people in class. Okay, so now Matt's got me. And I'm trying to be a good student, and I try to pull my arm out, but he really grabs it and holds onto it. So if he really holds onto it, I have to be careful. I don't want to let my arm float around, because he'll push it down and do this, and once it's there, unless you've been throwing baseballs that weigh hundreds of kilos, you're dead. So he can attack my rotator cuff too easily there. So what I'm going to try to do is with this hand, I'm going to tuck it underneath his arm, and now I hold on together. So notice my grip here, guys. I can grip all sorts of different ways, but my thumb must cut into him. Okay, like I'm trying to stab him with my thumb here. Because I need to make sure the head of my radius bone here is right into his ribs. And I hold him very tight. So in real life, I'd squeeze him as tight as I could. So when I lift him, he feels his floating ribs getting pressed into, in this case, his spleen on that side. Okay, so I've got him tight here. And now I run my feet in till my hips get underneath his hips. So I run, and see how my hips are now a bit underneath. And now I'm going to put his head onto the mat. I do a big bridge and I get his head onto the mat. And now I turn and I get up on top. And now I can break his grip by putting my forearm on his head like this. And I can start now having a look at taking submissions. Okay? But from here tonight, I would expect you guys just to grab their head, grab your leg, and hold them. Matt will try to get to my back first. So he bridges up towards me, gets his elbow out, gets his hook in, and now he can start prying himself out. And once his head gets out, I'm in trouble, no matter where we go. But, unfortunately for Matt, I've seen that one before. So I'm now holding him really tight, putting a lot of weight on him. So he's going to hold me tight. He's going to run till his hips get underneath my butt a bit. Now he puts my head on the mat and rolls me over. And if I keep grabbing him like an idiot, he'll just put his forearm across my face and push. And now he can rip that arm off. Okay? So the secret with this roll is the bigger they are, the harder they will be to roll. Okay? As Newtonian physics. If you want me to tell you something different, I can, but I'm not going to be telling you the truth. So the bigger they are though, probably the slower they are. That's also like a Newtonian physics thing. So we're going to try to run our hips in fast. If you're a light guy or girl, run your hips in fast and get your hips underneath their hips, near their butt. And then when you lift them, you get to lift with your hips. You're not trying to lift through your torso. But make sure you get one good shot at this one. The beauty of having A, B, get the arm out, is it makes him do opposite things. So if Matt lies down here, and I have him in a, feet this way please, and I have him in Kesa Gatame, headlock, control. If he goes to get his arm out, I'm going to be grabbing it and pulling it up onto him, which is giving him what energy? The energy to roll me. But now, Matt tries to roll me, and what's my energy going to be? I'm going to have my hands out on the mat, or at least my body out this way. But realistically, normally my hand on the mat. And now, nothing is going to stop him from getting his arm out. So really, the secret of this one isn't learning A and B. That's like a jab and a cross. Both things we use in boxing, Thai boxing, whatever. Okay? But a jab and a cross's value come from the fact that we use them together. You know, like I've been striking for more than 20 years. But if you said to me, I only get to use a jab, or I only get to use a cross, I am not going to have 50% as much success as if I get to use both. I'm going to have like a 10th of as much success. You know, I'm going to hit you a 10th as much. You're going to hit me 10 times as much. Because I only have one hand. So remember, sometimes in jiu-jitsu, by combining two techniques, we don't get double the benefit. We get 10 times the benefit. Because if you're not tricking them, you better hope you're bigger, stronger, fitter, faster, more flexible. And hey, who can guarantee that? Nobody. Okay, so let's do this guys. Remember, we get the elbow out, we put the foot in, then we can pry our head out. If they want to hold us, we're gonna grab them tight, give them a big bridge, and then roll them over. But don't forget to run your hips underneath their butt, even if that takes you 1 minute to run your feet under. Okay, that's what you have to do. All right, let's go. Thanks for watching the video, guys. For more videos, click here. To subscribe to this channel to get all of our awesome videos, click here. And if you'd like to have our hour-long series for free on footlocks and how to defend footlocks and leg attacks of all kinds, please click here. I'm Coach Tom, guys. I'll see you next time.